Hello everyone, welcome to this video. In this video, we shall see what is the gradient. So before defining gradient, if you recall in the previous video, we have defined this operator del, or we call it to be the Nebula operator. So what is this operator? This operator was defined to be del by del x I cap plus del by del y j cap plus del by del z k cap. So basically this is a vector operator, right? So using this operator we can define three quantities of practical importance. First one is calculating the gradient. Second one is calculating the divergence. And third one is calculating the curl. Right? So here in this video, we shall be seeing the particular case for calculating the gradient. So let us proceed. What is gradient and how can we define it? So for defining gradient, so let me write it here. What is gradient? So for defining gradient, what do you require? You require a scalar point function. So if I say let phi of x, y, z, this is a function consisting of x, y, z, which is a scalar point function, vector. Function which is a scalar point function. So that means this function has only the magnitude involved and there is no direction that is involved with this function phi. And moreover, we should have this condition that this function phi, this should be differentiable function. If this is the case, differentiable at every point x, y, z in the given region, so that means we can differentiate this particular function at every point. This is what is our assumption. And if this is a scalar point function, then we can define the quantity del of phi, which would be applying this del operator, del by del x I cap plus del by del y j cap plus del by del z k cap onto the function phi, which is a scalar point function. So you see, when you solve this quantity, what do you obtain? You can write this to be del by del x of the function of the scalar function phi of xyz I cap plus del by del y of phi of xyz j cap plus del by del z of phi of xyz k cap. So this is actually a vector quantity, right? So this is a vector point function. So from here you saw that whenever you take, so let me write a remark here. It says that whenever you take the scalar point function and apply the gradient onto, calculate the gradient of that scalar point function. The gradient of the scalar point function will always be a vector point function. This is simple. A vector point function, right? So now you could see this operator del as some, this is the operator where what you do, you input some scalar point function here, and in the output, what do you obtain? You obtain a vector point function. Okay, so let me define the properties of this gradient vector. So if I assume phi and psi to be the scalar point functions, so I am defining two scalar point functions which are phi and psi. So then I can define the first property as gradient of the first function phi that is equal to 0. Now this is a 0 vector having magnitude as 0 and no direction at all. So if gradient of some scalar point function is a 0 vector, this is possible if and only if we have phi as a constant function. So that means whenever you have some scalar point function as constant, in that case the gradient is equal to 0 vector, and conversely if the gradient is equal to 0 vector, the function phi is a constant. Next, the gradient of phi plus minus psi. What is this quantity? This is equal to the gradient of phi plus minus the gradient of psi. So that means if you add up or subtract two scalar point functions first and then apply the gradient, that would be equivalent to applying the gradient first individually on two scalar point functions and then adding or subtracting these two. The third property says gradient of phi of psi, this is equal to phi as such the gradient of psi plus psi as such the gradient of phi. So this is very similar to that of the product rule that we use in the differentiation. That means you keep the first function as such, differentiate the other, and then you keep the second function as such, differentiate the first. And similar is the rule with this division of these two scalar point functions. So that means del of phi by psi, that is equal to psi del of phi minus phi del of psi divided by psi square. Now these are very easy to prove properties, and the last property we have multiplication by some scalar constant, right? So the function phi is multiplied by c, then it is equal, and then the gradient is calculated. This is equal to the calculating the gradient first and then multiplication by c, where we have a condition on c that c is any constant, right? So these are some of the properties for gradient. Now next, let me define. Next, we have to understand what is the meaning for gradient. What actually the gradient tell you, right? So what is the physical meaning? So before defining that, let me define something known as level curves. So for defining level curves, if I say phi of x, y, z, that is some single valued continuous scalar point function. So this is the given function to us, which is known as phi, and we are defining it. We are defining phi in the region R. So this is our region, 3D region. And if we assume P of x, y, z to be some point in the region R, right? So we have one surface, we have one scalar point function, right? And we have one point. Then we can draw a surface. So I can say we can draw a surface through the point P such that at each point of the surface, at each point of this surface, phi has the same value. Now this is interesting. Mathematically, this means that if I am calling my function to be phi of xyz, then this is equal to some constant through this point. So this, the constant c here, this is fixed in nature. So that means whenever you roam around this surface through the point P, the value of the surface will not change, right? And this C is fixed for one particular level curve. So this is, say, for the first level curve. For another level curve, this value phi of xyz, that would be equal to some other constant. Let me call that as d. So this is also fixed for this second level curve. So I mean to say that whenever you move from one level curve to another level curve, the value of this constant will change, but if you remain on that particular level curve, its value won't change. It will remain constant. So to visualize the thing exactly, let me draw and explain it to you. So if you consider a mountain like this, so suppose this is the mountain and you are planning to go on this mountain for the holiday. Suppose this is the highest peak in whole of the world, right? So here what I can do, at present you are standing here at the bottom of the mountain, and what is your plan? Your plan is to go and climb this mountain. Now if you have a clear and clear view for this mountain, then it would be more easier for you to climb this mountain. So on this particular mountain, if you see a curve, suppose this is the curve defining the geometry of this mountain. So with the curviness of this mountain, this curve is also bending, right? And moreover, if I assume that this curve represents the same height from the ground at every point for this curve, say at here, 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 or here, or here, at every point here on this particular curve, the height is going to remain the same, which is some constant quantity. Say this height is equal to c, right, which is fixed. So in that case, I can call this curve to be the level curve. So that means the significance of this level curve to you is going to be that if you move on this particular curve here, so that means you are going to remain on the same height. So if you are moving on the tangential direction for this particular curve, so your direction and your height will remain the same. Similarly, you could have another level curve here of this kind, such that its distance from the ground will be same, but it would be different from the previous curve, right? So this is another level curve. So according to this level curve, you have another direction. So on this mountain, you could have numerous and plenty of level curves of these kind. So I hope you understood the concept for this level curve. So that means the function here, which defines the altitude in this particular case, the function phi of xyz, which defines the altitude of this mountain, the level curve would be, this altitude is going to be fixed for a certain curve. Okay, so this is about level curve. So now let me give you the physical significance for gradient.